Story number 32, Youth Group Beach Bash. In the fictional country of Serenity, there was a 25-year-old youth pastor, Kent Hansel, who is the youth pastor of Hitherford County Reformed Church. The pastor of this church is Darius Hansel, who is also his dad. Kent leads a youth group of 32 members in the Reformed Church in Hitherford County, which is a rural and coastal county in the province of Antioch. Serenity is located in the Northern Hemisphere, which means they have summer in the middle of the year and winter in the beginning of the year. The youth group goes on a trip once a month. The trip that was planned for the month of June was a youth group beach bash, which was set for June 20th, which is the first day of summer. And the timing of the trip is from 11 a.m. through 8 p.m. The beach bash included things like beach volleyball, a picnic on the beach at lunchtime, surfing, mini games, ice cream, hiking on the beach, and the barbecue at dinner time. This was a fun trip that was set up, and June 27th was scheduled to be the alternate date, in case if it rained on the originally planned date. This trip was planned just after the most recent one, which was to the Hitherford National Park on May 16th. All 32 of the members signed up for the trip, and important rules were laid out for this trip. One of the rules mentioned was that members must wear modest swimwear, and Kent delivered a serious warning that to the youth group. He warned that anyone who showed up in immodest swimwear was going to be kicked out of the trip, sent back home, and then reported. In a youth group session on May 21st, Kent Hansel preached about the importance of modesty, and the reason he did this is due to how immodesty is a very big problem, especially on beaches. He also preached that both boys and girls must control their eyes, and not gaze on that which they shouldn't. After this, one of the youth group members, Oliver, asked, "Why would the girls have to do it too?" Then Kent replied, "Because thus it's one of the greatest struggles equally among both males and females, and not just males." His second back-to-back reply was, "The idea that lust is a bigger struggle for males than it is for females is a common misconception about lust." After both of Kent's replies, Oliver understood. It was at this moment when the entire youth group learned an important lesson that is not taught in many churches today. Just before the session was over, Kent shared his testimony about how he overcame the pornography addiction he had before he got saved. The one verse he used when overcoming the addiction was Philippians 4:13, which says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Kent shared that the verse actually tells you that if you rely on God's strength, then you will overcome the most difficult things in life by God's grace, including overcoming addictions, and also do things for the Lord that does not come naturally to us. After this, Kent then preached, "This verse is commonly taken out of context to mean that you will win a big game or achieve a vain goal. The verse doesn't actually mean that you will automatically win a game." Then, nearly a month later on June 20th at 10 a.m., all of the members of the youth group arrived for the fun and exciting trip that was to come. Kent got the bus loaded with the cooler filled with bottles of water and everyone's book bags, filled with things that might be needed for the beach. Then everyone boarded the bus to head off to the beach, which was only a 20-minute ride away. They arrived just before 11 a.m., and Kent enforced an important rule that everyone in the youth group must be in his range, meaning that he must be able to see them. The youth group members also can't use their phones except to take appropriate pictures or take emergency phone calls. The entire youth group got started with beach volleyball. There were two teams set up, and since the youth group has 16 males and 16 females, both teams were set to each have 8 males and 8 females. The terms males and females are used as the age range of the youth group members is 13 through 19, and in the fictional country of Serenity, people legally become of age at 16. After the game of volleyball came the exciting beach picnic. There was a nice breeze, and the youth group members have had an awesome time swimming in the ocean. 5 of the youth group members who recently got saved were also baptized in the ocean, as well, as they had not been baptized yet, and Kent performed the baptisms. There was another 2 youth group members who recently got saved too, but were both baptized. Already baptized, one as an infant and the other at age 3. Likewise, those 2 did not go and get baptized on the trip because they were already baptized. Kent said, "The 2 of you are right. Baptism is valid in all cases, as it is dependent on God and not man. Therefore, Donatism is heresy." Then he said, "If you got baptized one day and then later found out that the pastor who performed the baptism is a heretic, then you would not need to get rebaptized, as baptism is valid in all cases." The entire youth group believes in infant baptism, as they are of the Reformed denomination. They also don't condemn those who believe in believers' baptism, as this topic is a secondary issue. In a youth group session several weeks ago, Kent preached that whether you believe in infant baptism or believers' baptism has no bearing on your salvation, which means that it is indeed a secondary issue and is therefore not a salvation issue. After the picnic, Kent took the entire youth group on an awesome beach hike, and they hiked 400 meters in total, 200 meters from Pier 0 to Pier 1, and then another 200 meters back. In the middle of the hike, Kent bought ice cream for the entire youth group at Pier 1, and the ice cream shop workers had a fine way of setting the different ice cream sundaes in the freezer, while the others were being made, as 33 ice cream sundaes had to be made for both the entire youth group and Kent Council, who is the youth pastor. After all 33 were completed, they were all taken out of the storage freezers and handed out to the entire youth group. They all enjoyed the ice cream in the final half of the hike. This beach bash was filled with adventure, and the reason this trip was called a beach bash was that it is one big party that lasts practically all day. After the hike was finished came several fun mini-games that were being played throughout the afternoon and evening. Then at 6 p.m., the brisket that Kent had on the grill for 6 hours was finally ready. He first sent it on the grill at noon, just before the beach picnic, so this way they could be ready by dinner time. The brisket coated in honey barbecue sauce was being paired with mac and cheese, baked beans, and collard greens. The entire youth group enjoyed the delicious barbecue. After the barbecue, the youth group got to dance on the beach as Kent played biblically solid Christian EDM music on the beach. This awesome trip ran its course until 8 p.m. At this time, the youth group arrived back at the church at around 8:20 p.m., and then the members were picked up by their parents. The trip was very epic, as the entire youth group had plenty of fun, and plenty of fond memories were created out of this. Then in the following week, Kent Hantel plans for the next youth group trip to be set for July 25th to the Hitherford Castle, which is a historic landmark in Hitherford County. This trip was set to be from noon through 6 p.m. The Hitherford Castle was well known for housing the noblemen during the medieval era in Serenity. The castle was in operation from 1153 AD through 1697 AD. The Hitherford Castle was open to the public on Wednesday, January 7th, 1153 AD. Then on Monday, November 15th, 1697 AD, the castle was converted into a site for people to enjoy and get a tour of it. There were also picnic tables and a coffee and tea bar set up in the castle so that people could enjoy a cup of tea or coffee and maybe a turnover or crepes in the castle.